What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tay, also known as Darius from that TV show 60 Days In, and I thought it would be fun if I put together my own personal list of the best and worst participants. And in this video, we're going to talk about the 10 worst participants to ever do the TV show 60 Days In. And I can call myself an expert because I did the TV show, right? So who else better to judge some of these people than me, moi, yes, me. And if I do keep it real myself, I'm not even going to put myself on either one of these lists because that would be completely biased, right? I'm the best ever. But with that being said, I decided to compile this list of the 10 best and the 10 worst participants of all time, including some of the participants who are on the current season that is playing today. So with that being said, if you happen to have been on the show 60 Days In and you watch this video, do not take offense to my list. I am just pretty much having fun, and again, it's just my opinion. I really don't know some of you people, so if you take it to heart, I'm so sorry. I know we're all part of the 60 Days In family, but sometimes families judge. So let's go ahead and dive right into this list. 10 participants. We're going to start from number 10, go down to the number 1 worst participant of all time. You guys probably already know who it is, right? I think I may surprise you, but let's go ahead and start at number 10 right now. In our number 10 spot, we have from season 1, Tammy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tammy, to put you there. We have Tammy right here from season 1. The reason I put her on this list is because she was just, there was a lot of complaining going on with Tammy, and she was just always, don't want to use the word that I'm not supposed to use, but I'm going to use it, bitchy. Yeah, it was just a lot of bitchiness coming from Tammy. I'm sure she's a great human being, but just watching the season, it was kind of cringe when her part came up. And I'm all about, like, if you kind of like are cringy to me, I had to put you on the list. There's other people that I probably could have put in the number 10 spot, but I think Tammy is a perfect fit for one of the worst participants ever to ever do the program. At number 9, we have Matt. Matt from season number 4. The only reason Matt is really on this spot is because the entire time Matt complained about his son. That was so annoying. It's like, bruh, your son is a grown man, right? Didn't he participate to come in this program? And he was handling the program much better than his father was, it seems. So it was kind of weird, man. Like, I hope I don't have that kind of relationship with my son where it comes across stalkerish, because that was like borderline stalkerish, man. Like, my son, you need to worry about your well-being in there trying to act like you're a judo expert. So that was some classic television, watching this dude practice his judo and tell everybody that he was an MMA teacher just to stay out of fights. The stories that some people come up with is just hilarious. Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have Jeffrey. Jeffrey, sorry if I don't know which one you go by, but Jeffrey from season number 1. Unfortunately, he actually got into an altercation. I think he's the only participant in 60 Days In history who got hit and didn't fight back, or yeah, that in itself just tells you that you shouldn't even been part of the program. If you're gonna get hit, you have to fight back, man. I mean, that's just in any situation at all. Cameras there or not, you have to fight back. And I think you would have been okay because you got hit first. But I kind of understand your hesitation because that's a whole new environment, man. If you've never been in jail and you go to jail, it's going to blow a lot of people's mind, man. And a lot of people feel like they have to change their attitudes or their persona to who they really are. And you don't have to do none of that. You just have to be yourself. But in this situation, Jeff, he was a weaker version of himself, unfortunately, and that made him pray. But he should have fought back, and he probably would have never been on this list. At number 7 from season number 6, we have Jacob. Jacob didn't even make it into general population. So with that being said, that has to make you on the list automatically, because there's some people who are on the list and they actually made it further than you did. So the fact that you made it to intake and you felt the need that, you know what, this is already too much for me. You didn't even get to experience what jail was like, man. Like, intake, that's like the easy part of jail. Like, literally just sitting in a holding cell, like that's the easy part of jail, man. So unfortunately, it got too much for you and you had to tap out. So that's why you made number 7 on this list. At number 6 on this list, and they could have been higher, but we have some real goofballs in the top 5. So I put David at number 6, and David is from season number 5. If you don't know anything about David, David is the guy who supposedly blew the cover. As a participant of the show, I do know how editing goes sometimes, so I really don't know exactly what David said to the officer. But the fact that David was that comfortable to talk to the officer, knowing that he was undercover, come on, man. You can't trust officers either. Officers are human beings, man. So no matter how much we put them in a better light, they are just human beings too. So they have emotions that we have. Once you tell one of them, of course, they're going to tell one of their buddies, and then one of their buddies is going to tell one of their buddies. And now the whole program is blown because 17 officers know. Even if you trusted that one officer, it's so hard for human beings to keep a secret. Just think about it, man. Everybody watching this video, somebody has told you a secret, and I guarantee you've told that secret to somebody else. Your close spouse, your best friend, could have been somebody you was just screwing, but you told that secret to somebody else and expecting them to keep it confidential, man. And that was the dumbest thing that you probably could have done in program history to me. You told another cop that you were part of the program. So if that was completely true, I had to put you number 6 on this list. Coming in at number 5, I hate to do this. I really, really do, man. This guy I have a lot of respect for, but I can't be biased, right? I have to tell you my honest opinion from what I see on the show. And this will be our first entrant from the new season that is on right now. So in the number 5 spot, we had to put my boy, Jake. Jake, oh man, we had to call Jake the 90-minute man because it's called 60 Days In, and he only made it 90 minutes in, unfortunately, man. You know, the excuse that he gave was that the people knew that he was part of the program. They put him in a bad situation. He's saying a lot of stuff on Instagram, and I will leave his link in the description box so you guys can go check out Jake, just to show a little support his way. But he said that he felt like they knew who he was automatically. And to that, I will say, people are automatically going to assume. You just have to keep up the front of, I don't know what you're talking about. I know when I went in the program, within 5 minutes of me walking in that door and being in the holding cell, people assumed that 60 Days was the show. And I got grilled, man. I got grilled. But you just have to be consistent with your story, man, and just hold true to what you believe and be like, nah, I'm not part of the program. You know, I'm not going to sit here and just throw judgment on why I really think he tapped out. You know, I mean, it's jail. I go back to it's jail. It's a different animal. I'm telling you, the first time I ever went to jail, guys, and this is a story that I don't mind sharing now. I was scared to death, man. If I could have checked in, I would have, but they wouldn't even allow us to like check in North Carolina. So the jail that I went to was Fayetteville Jail, and it's very similar to the jail that they went to. It's in the same state. Like North Carolina jails and prisons, they suck, just like South Carolina. Y'all sleeping on the Carolina jails and prisons, man, but they are horrible. So I understand why Jacob checked out. Like if you have the opportunity to check out, man, a lot of people will. And just that's what people really don't notice too. A lot of people in the comment section, oh, he tapped out, blah, blah, blah. If you go to jail and you're in that real life situation, you would tap out too. So Jake, man, I'm sorry, but I had to put you on the list at number 5. Still respect you, man. You're still my dog, but 90 minutes, man, come on. At the number 4 spot we have on this list, somebody who didn't even make it out the hotel. Didn't even make it out the hotel. From season number 2, we have Garrison, man. Grayson, or Garrison. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce your name. I apologize. But you didn't even make it out the hotel, so I didn't even have enough time to look up and how to pronounce your name properly. So I'm sorry. That was a low blow, man. Yeah, I guess I go back to, man, it's reality. I don't think people know that we are really going to jail. It is a real situation, and people, once they get put in cuffs and they realize they're not about to go to a set with a bunch of actors, they're about to tap out, man. And once the reality hits, man, you're going to tap out. I can keep it a buck with you. If I have never been to prison and jail before several times, I probably would have tapped out. But I have been unfortunate enough to been to so many jails, man. I've been to a lot of jails, unfortunately, and I've been to a lot of prisons, unfortunately. So you get moved to environment to environment to environment. I've been to some of the worst jails and some of the worst prison yards, and I've been to some of the sweetest of sweet of the prisons and jails too. So you kind of gauge what it's like when you're there. And I will be honest, like my season to me wasn't like the worst jail in the world. To me it was kind of a piece of cake, to be honest. But it's not a piece of cake because it's jail. Mentally, jail sucks. But at the same time, I would have rather been in that jail than the current season that I see now, because I feel like the rate of getting to altercations might have been a little bit more, especially in like the North Carolina jails. But anyways, Garrison, you didn't even make it to the Atlanta jail that you were about to go to. So therefore, you did make it high on this list at number 4. Number 3 we have on this list, man. Sometimes it's not about how long you lasted. It's about your antics while you are back there. So on this list, we have from season number 5, Steve. We all remember Steve. Thought he had some information from being in the jail in less than a week, maybe? I don't even think he was in jail for a week. He got on the phone and was like, I need to talk to the sheriff. I got some information. I'm gonna shut this whole program down if you don't get somebody in here. Like, bruh, you didn't even do nothing. You really didn't even get no information that you were supposed to get. I don't understand what he thought he had. Like, I don't know, man. It's so funny to me seeing the different reasons people decide to go back in 60 days in. And people have this perception of watching a TV show that everybody goes in as a snitch. I am not here to dissuade anybody of that, but I will just say, just watch the show before you judge. Like, some people go on the show just to experience jail. Some people go on the show to be a snitch. Some people go on the show just because they feel like jail isn't tough. Some people go on the show for fame. There are so many different reasons that people go on the show, and then they realize like it's really, really jail, man. With all that being said, every single season was different. Everybody wasn't supposed to go to jail just to start telling on the inmates, because that's not what it was really about for a lot of people who did this show. And Steve was one of the people who was more on the side of, I'm coming in, I'm trying to get the drugs, I'm trying to get all this stuff and present it to the sheriff. And he thought he had him a big old fish. And he really and truly, in all honesty, he had nothing but just made himself look like an idiot on national TV. So in the number 3 spot, that's you, Steve. Number 2 on this list. This might be controversial because you guys may not agree. Some people will say, Tay, you are crazy. This is the number 1 worst participant ever on 60 Days In. And to you guys, I will say, wait until you see who the number 1 person is. But from season number 1, coming in the runner-up spot, Robert. Robert is the number 2 worst participant ever to participate on 60 Days In. And come on, guys, it's just obvious why. This guy was just full of himself. He was cocky. He spent majority of his time in solitary confinement. The dude faked like he was sick. He had every issue with the jail, but he didn't go to general population. Again, I hate when people get on the show and have all of the solutions to a jail that you didn't even get to experience. So people, well, your jail's horrible, but you didn't go in general population. You didn't really experience how the jail is as a whole, man. Like, general population, I mean, is a completely different animal from solitary confinement. I did some of my bid in solitary because I got caught with a cell phone at one of the prison yards I went to. Solitary was some of the best time that you have because you get some peace and quiet versus being in a group of people like you are in general population. So sometimes solitary can be a positive, but sometimes if you're in the wrong solitary, it can be horrible because you ain't getting no sleep. People are banging on the doors all night and it can just get kind of hectic, man. So Robert, man, I don't even want to say that he had something wrong with him, but he was a character, man. He was somebody who just went on the show for, I don't know if it was fame. I don't know if it was just 15 minutes of, I want to be funny, or I don't know what it was, man. But his experience was not a jail experience at all. He literally just went to solitary confinement and just made a fool of himself. So that's why he made it to my number 2 spot on the worst list. Number 1, coming in at number 1. I hate talking bad about people, but I know earlier I said somebody did something that was the dumbest thing ever on the show, but this is definitely a close number 2. And it would be number 1 if the person told an officer rather than an inmate. So coming in the number 1 spot, we have from season number 4, Anjali. Now, I hate talking bad about people, and right now I don't know her as a person. I think she's a great person outside of the show. I'm only going to judge what I've seen from the show. The fact that you would tell another inmate that you are a participant and then cost other participants, that's the dumbest thing that's ever happened on the show. I take it back. I take it all the way back. The fact that she went and told another inmate that she was a participant, she was part of a program, is just mind-blowing to me, man. Mind-blowing. Like, do you even know the danger that you put yourself in? Like, if y'all don't know anything about the show, like, the cameras aren't in there all the time. The producers aren't back there with you all the time. Anything can happen at any point in time, man. So she could have told the wrong participant. That girl could have told somebody else, which she did the moment that Anjali checked out or they made her leave. And she could have got stabbed up, shanked up. No matter what people say, what kind of situation you in, we don't know other people, man. People are in jail for all kinds of reasons. And some people really think that people go on that show to be a snitch. Somebody could have been like, oh, that show 60 Days In, this girl is a whole snitch. Oh, we're going to stab her up, because people have that mentality of just because you're on the show, you're a snitch without even watching the show. And people don't even know what snitching is, man. That's another thing. Like, people don't even know what snitching is and the definition of true telling, you know, but I'll leave that alone. Anjali was the worst participant of all time to me, man. And it's just because of her telling another participant she was part of the show. All of her antics about the show, her falling in love, I don't even care about all that. We're human beings, man. She naturally fell for somebody else. That is what it is. She would have never made this list if she didn't get the show, the program, shut down. She caused everybody from that season to go home early, man, and miss out on the rest of the experiences that they could have had. The people who was trying to go back there and help other people, or the people who went back there just to see again what jail is like. And she just ruined that for everybody, man. So their season got cut short, unfortunately, and it was all because of Anjali, man. So that's why, to me personally, she's the worst participant of all time. Let me know if you agree with that list. Let me know if I missed some people. Let me know if you would add some people. I already know there's a few honorable mentions from my season that people are going to drop in the comments. I chose not to put him on the list because I just don't think he fit the criteria of top 10. Now, maybe if we did a top 11, he may fit, but you know, yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make the next video for the top 10 participants of all time. So if you want to see that video, make sure that you check it out, and I will see you next time. Make sure you bless somebody today, because I promise you I'm going to bless somebody tomorrow. At this point in time, your boy Tay, I'm out.